25.
I got a 4.
2.
Nice.
Okay, so we had a lot of things we could have done, and we decided to go to the Demon Wastes.
Yeah.
So we chartered an airship that we left out of Sharn, and then we did a lot of like overhead reconnaissance, flying over like this massive canyon.
Oh, you met a friend.
That's right. We hired this tiefling smarty pants. I can't. What was his name?
Enric.
And Enric has a lot of holy symbols, knows a lot about demons and stuff, allegedly. So how did we find out there was just one, the only like real sense of civilization was like this big herd tent party, right? Like of orcs.
Yeah, kind of.
What was the name of the place?
I think you went and looked it up in a library or something.
That's right. Was that in Sharn?
Yes.
The library we went to before we had left. So we headed for there. We ended up finding a discreet place to lower the ship. We ended up kind of just hiking through this like miserable sandstorm. We made like a safety bubble around us, and then we ended up in like a Rakshasa-owned concentration camp. What the hell was it?
It was kind of like a Rakshasa like city. Like there was like weird shit going on. There was ghosts.
Okay. Right. We had Joe handled most of the talking with the Rakshasa, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the terms of the conversation we had.
He wanted a tribute. He basically just kind of bullied you into giving you something. He smelled like a true name on you, kind of bullied you to.
That's
give it to
right.
him.
And we lost the book we got from the Dark Lanterns. No.
No. It was just a list of...
It was a scroll with a whole bunch of like demon true names on it.
Okay.
You guys were like this close just to like kicking his ass, but you decided against it.
Alright. So, what did we get in return for that? Just he didn't hassle us anymore?
He gave you a tip. You guys were saying you guys said you were looking for a lost library.
Right. And then he basically led us to the hot pool, right?
Kinda, yeah. Back, it's like you went like across Texas, and then he told you to go back the other way to the Lake of Fire, which is like this among like arid wastes. It's not like a desert. It's kind of cold, but it's just like it's not cold. It's just like temperate, but it's shitty. There's like nothing growing anywhere. It's all like shale and obsidian and dry, and kind of rising out, kind of a little bit of a tiny mountain range. It's a huge volcano with a large pool of lava that just kind of spews constantly out of the volcano and like pools up in this place. And nestled in between like the cleavage of the actual volcano and this like lake of fire that constantly just kind of dribbles out, there's a pool of like warm but not scalding water.
Right. We found that, and then we sent Anoth, I think, and Alan down.
I think it was Terrence.
Terrence, okay. Yeah, Terrence uses magic to burrow on down. And we just started like getting up bags and bags of treasure until we found a couple pretty cool dragon eggs that we thought would be a good idea to take. This went on for
I don't think you took an egg, did you?
I think we had an egg up in a basket. I could be wrong about that. I may have completely made that up.
I know they were actually they were actively hatching.
One of them was, yeah. The second group that you found.
Okay. And we did that for maybe like 90 seconds, and then we see like in the horizon 4 things flying towards us. Or how many were there?
Kind of. You guys got like 2.5 bags of gold.
Okay.
You set up an intricate pulley system to like take like bags and like fill them and get one at a time. You got 2.5 bags. I don't think the bags have fully been pulled up yet, but before you guys had stopped, there was the volcano erupted, and with like thunder and lightning and earthquakes and shit, this dragon the size of a jumbo jet comes out. It's hard to tell exactly what kind of thing, but it's huge, size of like a 747, and it's flying very slowly, like it should not. It doesn't look like it should be in the air. And she's rippling cracks of glowing red hot between plates of like black in the sky as kind of like as it zooms out of the cloud that's gathered along the volcano. Like lightning is like is all of like all the air is superheated as the volcano kind of exploded, and then off the wings of those two, kind of like flanking it, were 2 other smaller dragons. The big one kind of started doing a lap around as the 2 smaller ones, the smaller, quicker ones, went to the pool. You guys tried to freeze and try to stealth it, but it didn't go very well. They saw the airship, especially because there was a lot of noise going on. Somebody had dropped a screaming baboon into the pool. Remember that?
Why did we do that?
I have
You
no
wanted to
idea.
know if the water was like poisonous or hot
Or
or
like
something.
boiling.
It was, too hot.
And didn't I
And then you
javelin the
guys were
baboon?
kind of yelling at each other from the airship to the pool. And then Enric was calling down to everybody. He's like, "Hey, that's a lot of gold! Gold!
I'm pretty sure I ended up ending that baboon as well.
You ended up what?"
I think I ended up javelining the baboon to death.
Yeah,
Trying to climb.
as it screamed and screamed.
Oh god.
So you have these 2 like smaller dragons that like one of them was like bathing in the fire almost. One was in the lake of fire and was like just, I don't know, bathing in it. You're not really quite sure. The second one had flown down to the pool and had started to like dip its toe in when it saw what was happening. It immediately started like barking like a weird like raptor like roar, which called the other one that comes soaring out of the lake of fire, dripping in magma. The other one immediately started skimming the water kind of parting just because the sheer speed of it, as you guys were pulling up the ladder, pulling up the ropes, and then trying to get out. You guys take a look back. The one that's coming out of the lake of fire, it looks like it is a chic black, glistening with really sharp edges all around it. It looks very streamlined. It's very like stretched out and very like wide for like gliding. The other one that was at the pool started off kind of red, like red tinged, but as soon as it saw and started like taking aggressive action, you saw the scales begin to turn to like a white and then to like a gray as it swirls, and then you just saw smoke start like coming off of its form, almost completely obscuring it unless it moves. You can just barely see so behind it is just this cloud of smoke where it's in front of the cloud of smoke, with the, it's all peeling back. This just wispy craziness. That one begins going forward, crossing the lake. The one in the lake of fire is maybe 200, 300 yards off, but it's starting to arc around. And this one, still dripping in magma, begins to like climb and then go into a dive to gain speed. And it's just like a silver black bullet. It just gets quicker and quicker.
How far away are they at this point? They were like eyeballing. It's hard to tell the scale, I'm sure.
The smoky one, it seems to be It's closer. I'd say maybe 100 yards away.
Okay.
Whereas the one that's coming back around and kind of like climbing and gaining speed as it's diving is maybe twice as far away, but it's coming in quick. And then the giant jumbo jet dragon is like coming around the volcano. I mean, it's a mountain, so like it's taking it a while, and it's not flying very fast, but it's like it's just disappeared around the long side of the volcano.
Oh shit.
Okay, and where are we? Who's up in the ship right
I'm
now?
in the ship.
Everybody's gotten up to the ship at this point. I think that's where we ended. I made sure everybody had. You guys are pulling up the ladder, trying to get like the bags. I think you guys had dumped the bags in. You had told Enric just to get downstairs and shut up. And Terrence had jumped in the cockpit.
Okay, yeah.
Alright. Aaron's going boogie.
Yeah.
Well,
How fast do you what's your plan here? What are you doing?
So can I do like an intelligence check? I'm sure Terrence would have learned a bit more about how to drive this thing, fuel consumption rates, all that stuff. Do I know how much fuel I'm gonna burn if I like jet?
You'll burn a lot. You remember last time that you like put this thing up to like 10? That you did that to kind of rocket out of a chase scene in Sharn. It burned 2/3 of your fuel pretty quickly, but you gained a massive amount of speed. As you kind of look around, there's like the mountain kind of cresting behind you. For where you came from, like back towards like the plains, like 24, 26 hours, it's just, it's just fucking wasteland. You can see maybe off to the south a little bit, and that you're kind of high up. You can begin to kind of see the erosions and structures of the end of the labyrinth, that giant canyon network that kind of dominates the southern belly of the Demon Wastes.
Okay. So I want to conserve fuel, so I'm not in a. I'm gonna kind of like judge based on how fast. I'm gonna assume that the dragons are gonna chase the ones that are close by, and I'm gonna take a moderate speed, and I'm gonna pitch up into the sky,
Okay.
and I'll just kind of watch to see if they're gaining on me. Then I'll have to add more, but I'm gonna try and conserve fuel and go up into the sky, and I'm just gonna keep going for elevation. Gonna keep go as high as this thing can go. Tell everybody to get under the deck, seal it up.
Okay. What about everybody else?
Is this like how big is this ship we're on?
It's not huge. It's like 25 feet across, 25 feet wide.
Okay. I'm gonna go over by Terrence in the cockpit or whatever.
70 feet long.
Okay. Hey, I can like make this like the wind pushes faster if you want. You got to tell me what to do though. I can like push it or make us go up or higher. Just, you want me to do it? I don't know if it's gonna like mess with the controls. Basically, just be a big windstorm pushing us where we want to go. I can control the direction.
Can you make it? Can you make it whirl? Can you make like a vortex?
It's like 100-foot cube.
Do you have to pick a direction?
I can control how it works. It can be powerful or weak. It could be like an updraft or a downdraft. It's got to stay within, that size though. It's not huge.
Okay. Why don't create a vortex that tacks us upward.
Yeah, I can push that. You want me to do it?
Yes, and as the tailwind whips back around, if they come in range, it'll slow them down.
I can try. Yeah, I'll hit up a control winds.
Okay.
Uh,
I say you probably have to be on the deck for you to do that. I don't think you can be inside and control it. I think you have to be like on the deck, feeling the energy around you.
I hear that. Just hit me up on the earring. What do you want me to do? Can somebody like tie me down or something?
Someone tie a rope around him to pull him down to the deck when the air gets too thin.
I've got it. I'll take out the infinite rope and I tie a secure sash around Ballstar.
Okay. Do a little like lariat around the waist.
Yeah, little
Tie him
rock
to the
climbers.
side. Are you on like the left side or the? Oh God, I'm such a terrible shipsman. The left side or the right side of the airship?
I have no. I'm just getting where I have a good vantage.
Okay, I think just as long as you're up on the deck, you're fine.
Okay. I vision somewhat towards the center.
Okay. You find I don't know, there's some sort of like rigging or something, something like handles people can hold on to. You've tied yourself to the center of it. Quincy begins tying him, or finishes tying Ballstar to the deck. Quincy, anything specific that you want to do?
Well, I guess for that time I'll just be ready to pull in Ballstar. Are there like windows on the ship? Like
on the inside, I don't think there are. I think there's like little sleek, like strips of window that you can like roll down a little bit, like this much, and you can't really see a lot out of it. It's just there for like effect.
Right.
See how fast you're going. You can roll them down, but it's like as soon as you roll them down if you're going fast.
Okay, sure. Alright. Yeah, that's it. Just be ready to pull Ballstar in.
So are you up deck or are you down deck ready to pull Ballstar in?
I'm down deck ready to pull him in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Where do you guys want to put Alan?
Below deck as well.
I think we want him by. I don't know. Are arrows going to do anything against these things?
Well, the idea is to gain as much elevation until the air gets too thin for the dragon to fly.
Hopefully. I don't know. They are magic dragons. I don't know. I'm cool with whatever you guys want to do.
Where do you want Enric and where do you want Ballstar? Or not Ballstar. Enric and on-off.
Enric hiding someplace safe, I think.
Yeah, I think Enric is just like sitting in the the very, very tip of the limousine. He's just kind of like confused what's going on. He's like, what? Hey, Quincy. Sorry, that's not his voice. Quincy, why do we love us up to hurry? Surely there's more loot down below?
Well, let's just say we gotta get out. We gotta get out in a flash.
Oh, is he dangerous?
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, can I help?
Just remain calm.
When you say that, he looks like kind of suspicious, and then you see him like buckle up.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Click. He nods his head. He just kind of holds onto the seat.
On off. Can you maybe go through what we managed to get? See if there's anything cool.
Yeah. Fuck, I'll loot duty. Hell yeah. You see him take the bags of gold, and he opens up one of the private rooms in the back. There's 2 private rooms. One of them has like a table and chairs. The other one has like a small cot, like a private cot. And he just starts dumping all the loot in the one with the tables and chairs on the table. It's all wet. It smells really briny and sulfury and like farty. Terrence, you're going. If you were to put the throttle at 1 through 10, where would you have the throttle at?
I started at 5.
5. The ring around that keeps the airship afloat goes from like a gusty kind of fog wind at hover, and immediately you see it start to darken to like a blue almost, like a blue gray. Every once in a while, you'll just see a little bit of electricity. Some of the stones that bind the ring to make it float. At 5, you guys are flying, pulling out, and just going straight up. Is there a specific direction you're going? Are you just going into the wastes? There's 3 different ways, pretty much. There's like straight ahead towards the wastes. There's back towards the volcano, or like southwards towards the canyon. Those are the 3 like visual landmarks that you have.
What's in the canyon again?
It's like a canyon the size of like the state of Maine.
Okay.
It's called the Labyrinth. It's huge.
Go toward that.
Okay, so you're just like going up. How steep of an angle? Are you like, is everybody like struggling to hold on, or are you just gradually starting?
Gonna be pretty aggressive.
All right. Everybody, you start turning. Everybody has to like get their footing a little bit. Ballstar is sitting there, concentrating, pushing a vortex up. Ballstar, you're on the deck of the ship, so you're getting like the most of the brunt of it. You're like,
mouth blown completely open.
it's not that bad yet. I think it's just like it's getting difficult to hear. All you can like, and all your clothes are like. Yeah, but you're focusing you focus on the vortex beneath to help try to push it up as fast as you can. I think right up once you do that, you feel that vortex kind of form. I think the wind dies down. It's probably enough to yell over at this point. It's not too bad, and it's not blowing you as bad now that you're kind of in the eye of the vortex. Ballstar, roll a perception check.
Yep. 21.
21. I think you see. You look back as you're pitched up at an angle. You're kind of like the highest point of the ship right now. You look back behind, and you can see you haven't broken the cloud cover yet. You're still going up at a pretty steep incline. But as you look down among the like broken brown gray landscape, you can see definitely there's this cloud that's like following you at a pretty at the steep angle. It's hard to tell if it's gaining on you quite yet. But you can see this, like, at the very, very front of it, you get the shape of this, reptile front that's kind of, like, dipped its head down and elongated its neck to get some aerodynamics as the wings have kind of pulled in. Every once in a while, you see it flap aggressively to try to keep up. It doesn't look like it's falling behind, doesn't look like it's really catching up, just kind of keeping pace. You've completely lost the other one. You have no idea where it's been. You saw it start taking off and gain a lot of speed, and then you kind of look around, all the wind was distracting, and you shake it off the vortex, you see the weird smoke thing coming after you, and you've lost the other one.
Alright, I'm just gonna relay that over the earring. Quincy, can you do anything about the smoky one?
It's maybe 200 yards back.
You got anything you might be able to shoot at it?
Not unless I let go of you. Can Alan Greenspan see him through the window?
Yeah, he'll roll, but he's gonna have disadvantage because it's like very, very small.
Yeah.
What's his perception bonus?
Perception?
No, he rolled a natural 1.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't see anything.
Balser, you might be the best person for that, considering we're in a big, like, lightning cloud.
Alright, I'll just tell Ballstar. We're going to try to lose him in the sky. If you feel faint, tug on the rope.
Okay. How lightheaded am I getting at this point?
I don't think you're not that high yet. I don't think
Okay.
you've broken cloud yet.
How thick are the clouds up ahead?
It's kind of always like it's not really sunny here. It's just always kind of gloomy and gross. So there's like a decent like ceiling of cloud. It's like overcast, high but overcast.
So
Nothing, no storm clouds or like moisture or anything.
so can you see through it, or is it thick clouds, thick cover?
At some points you can kind of see sunlight through it, but it's not something that you can see clear blue sky.
Like, is it something that if the ship's going to disappear once we enter it?
It might be obscured.
Okay. And we have not reached it yet, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I could shoot him, but I gotta keep this wind going.
Okay. I'll tell him, once we reach the cloud cover, I want you to drop the vortex back onto the dragon to try and confuse it and slow it down.
Push it on him?
What?
Like, push the wind on him?
Yes, just try to, instead of boosting us, try and add turbulence onto his flight.
Okay, tell me one.
As soon as we get to the cloud cover. And then I'm going to make a left turn and try to lose him.
Lose him in the cloud? Okay. I think there's this really tense moment. You can't see the other one. You don't know where it is. I think the other one's keeping pace, and you see the cloud. It's one of those moments where you don't quite realize how big the cloud banks are. You think you're really close, then you have like another like 30, 45 seconds before you get anywhere close that you thought you were. It's a pretty big overcast cloud bank. Finally, you get in and you dip in and you feel it. You feel the change of the kind of atmosphere. That there's a swirling. I think the vortex beneath you is keeping your vision pretty well on the deck of the airship as the tornado's going. But as you kind of turn to look back, you see nothing. So you bank left really quick and you change up your air tactic.
You want me to go now? I can't see anything. You just shoot behind us?
Yeah, just where it's been trailing us, you know the pace and the distance.
Alright, last general direction I saw him coming. I'm just blindly shooting out that way.
Okay, shooting the wind that way. You see all of the smoke that was just kind of like giving you a wide berth begin to like funnel around you as the vortex kind of funnels like this and just begins shooting behind you. You see all the clouds just swirling behind you like you're in the middle of a hurricane that's inverse. You, Ballstar, all of a sudden get this like really crazy atmospheric pressure change. Like this as you see cloud above you swirl really quick as something insanely quick like passes over you, like the like fighter jet. It's just like there's nothing, and then there's just a severe pressure, and then the wake of it gets caught up in the as you look up, you just see like a flash of a shape go over you. As it cuts back into the cloud bank. But it's not from behind you, it like cuts across you.
Oh god. Either it found us or there's something else here. Something just shot overhead.
And did you catch what it was?
I have no idea. It might have been the smoke dragon. It might be something else. It was too fast. I couldn't see it.
There's a sound. There's a woof, like the sound of like air like displacing. Right next to the airship there's a sound of whoosh, and there's a small spark of blue, and then this huge explosion.
Oh god.
What exploded?
Something off to the side. It didn't hit the airship, but it's like this.
Which side was it? Where's it coming from?
Off to, I guess it would be Ballstar's right.
Okay. I'm gonna go straight to where that explosion was and just go in that direction.
Okay, you go left, come back down to the right. Again, you see it crossing the opposite direction this time. That huge form, not as quick this time, but there's this large figure, this black, sleek, aerodynamic dragon, maybe about 40 or 50 feet up, rushes over. You can see it kind of crane its neck and then go back and like huddle into like a more aerodynamic pose as it cuts into the cloud bank again, just disappears.
Was its head looking towards us at all? Like, is there any way?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Okay.
Black One's here. It knows where we are.
All right. All right. Then I'm gonna pull back up and keep going skyward.
Okay. You pull back up. Quincy, anything you're doing? You're still just holding the rope, holding fast?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just doing a full updraft, just pushing us up
Okay.
as high as we can go.
You turn it from going behind you to pushing you up really quick. You break the cloud bank. You see a wing, like just one wing cutting like a shark fin through the cloud bank as you burst from the bottom of it into like blue clear sky. But you can see just this sharp figure into the cloud bank below as you're rising up as fast as you can. As you look back below, you see the swirling cloud where you came from begin to condense and form and condense as exploding from behind you, the head the size of the airship, this gigantic smoke, a gigantic dragon head made of smoke the size of the airship is just behind you, chasing.
A little more speed.
Cranking it up to 7.
You do it up. Now that's when everybody starts to like, you hear on off, like, you hear coins hit the table. I need Ballstar to roll a concentration check,
Okay.
and I'll give you a dexterity check to stay with advantage because you're tied.
Okay. That's just skill check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dex was a 16.
Okay, that's enough.
How do I roll the Constitution saving throw?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that was good.
DC is the level of the spell plus 10.
It was a 19. No, 20.
What level is the spell?
5.
5? Okay. Yeah, you kick it up to 7. You concentrate on the wind, blowing it back as you see that giant dragon head snap. There's no sound of like physical hitting physical. It's like the jaws come up and they just pass through each other like smoke and just dissipate as you increase in speed. And then out of that swirling mass that was a dragon's head, you see that smoke dragon come back, barreling back out of it.
Oh god. I don't know if we can outrun these things, guys.
There's another 2 explosions. Off to the side, and now that you are completely visible, you see this black sleek dragon pull along really, really quick. You can see vapor start forming on its wings as it just takes such a steep bank at such a quick angle. It turns back around to like an intercept again.
We either blow our fuel or we land and try to fight these things. What do you guys want to do?
Is there any sign that they're slowing down or that we're pulling ahead with this increase in speed?
Now that you're increasing the speed, they're both pretty behind you. You're pulling away from the smoke one build behind you, but the obsidian one is keeping pace. It keeps kind of circling, so you'll be pretty quick, you'll pull ahead of it a lot, and it'll pass by, circle, gain up a whole bunch of speed again, pass by, circle.
Okay.
So now it's twisting around, coming back towards the back of it again. This time it is pretty spot on. As you see it, it's tucking in. It almost looks like a solid wing by itself when it's all like tucked in just like this black dragon wing. You can see just two coal smoke burning ember eyes in the black of it. That's the only thing you can tell besides just the sheer glistening black.
Quincy, can you do anything?
Before anything, I need Terrence to give me like a piloting check.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, Quincy, if you got something you can hit, I think now's the time.
I think it's gonna be dex based.
You got any ranged anything?
Cantrips and shit, but I have to get out on the deck to do it.
It's a natural 1.
Oh god.
Oh shit! I think Ballstar for a second loses concentration on the on the windstorm just enough to jostle your throttle, or just to jostle the steering. You try to lean into it, and it leads you into a really rough turn that like you're trying to overcorrect, and instead of like going like sheer ahead, the backside of the ship kind of kicks out and causes drag, and it slows you down considerably. Everybody gets jostled. I think Alan Greenspan and Quincy and on off all below just go boom, boom. Like they all just hit the ground. Quincy loses the rope. Ballstar's still up, but as that happens, you see Ballstar. You kind of smack down into I guess you're not prone, but you smack into the railing that you're tied to, and you shake it off, and you look up, and you just see this thing maybe 40 feet away coming straight up, and as the mouth opens, there's just this bright red, and then there's a displacement of air, and you feel right like 5 feet away from you, there's another larger displacement of air, and then an explosion. I need you to roll a dex check. Disadvantage because you're tied to the ship.
It was an 18 and a 4. So total 11. Oh god. Oh wait. Oh no, it's not Dexter. Never mind. Everything's good.
What was your total that you rolled?
11.
Okay. That's 31 fire damage.
Oh
god. 24 thunder damage.
31 and 24.
Yeah. As it like explodes, it's not like a huge area burst, but it's like the air around you just gets like displaced so hard it ignites and explodes. And after that, that takes the hit. The airship, everything just turns into like light, and you can't hear anything. Everything's like all completely dazzled. You kind of like you wake up taking this ridiculous hit. You're still tied, but you see that there is now a huge hole, not huge, about the size of like a large bowling ball in the ceiling of the ship. All of a sudden, in the cabin, everything starts flying everywhere. As the ceiling of the ship is just there's papers flying out. Nobody can hear anything.
I with one hand I start cutting myself out of the rope, and then I'm gonna thorn whip myself into the cabin just to get the hell off the deck.
Okay, you cut yourself pretty easily, and you just like head first into the hole. Yeah, Ballstar comes in from the ceiling, just plops, eyebrows singed, face all blackened. How hurt are you?
Very hurt.
Very hurt? Just crawling.
Yeah.
All right. Terrence is gonna nosedive to use a little gravity to regain that speed.
Okay. You're tilted up at the angle. Your bottom. You get the bottom kind of back behind you. You see the black dragon just off into the horizon pretty quick. You slow down and you start to fall and you angle the nose downward. You go back towards the bank, the cloud bank. Hi, Joe.
Hey. So are we flying away?
I just got my ass blasted by a dragon. So we're trying to run away.
Okay.
Yeah, we basically flew up in the clouds, and they were like the two dragons we saw. The smaller ones were like basically like trying to dive bomb us.
There's like one that's like a like a lost smoke monster, and the other one's like this like supersonic jet that keeps like making these crazy fast dives at us. So we may have almost lost the smoke one, but
So did you transform and that's when he nailed you, or are you on the...
no, I'm on the boat and I was using like a spell to push us with the wind to go way faster.
Okay.
And then we tried hiding in the clouds and it didn't work. And then we got a nat 1 on Chris's piloting skills. So I just got like blasted in the face by the dive bomb dragon.
Okay.
So we can't do my original plan. We're not gonna. The air is gonna get too thin, and now the cabin is compromised.
Yeah.
Can I, oh, is John present? Yeah, there you are. Can I, sort of Balfour into like a harpoon?
Yeah, sure. Like a throwing harpoon.
How do those work?
It's like a rope attached to a spear.
Yeah. Probably minus the rope part.
So a spear?
No, that's a terrible idea.
Bye forever. Cool sword.
So what do I want? Just like the big crossbow again, like I did before?
Could you do like a siege crossbow?
I mean,
Is
it's
that a thing?
it's a sword, but it can become any weapon I could wield.
Yeah, pretty much. It can't be like a stationary weapon.
Yeah. But I thought there was like a big ass crossbow I did one time.
Yeah. You do a heavy crossbow.
I guess
You're a
I'd
big
like to
heavy
do
crossbow.
that. I'll do that.
Okay. You guys feel this extreme upward pitch that you guys are used to now begin to slow. I assume you were at a 7, which is pretty fucking fast. I assume you brake, right? Or do you keep the 7 and just like point straight down?
Yeah, just I'll slow down after we're really shooting downward.
Okay, you go up, you drift a little bit as the back end, just the propulsion shoots you. You end up kind of like going upwards while the nose is pointed down, and finally kind of go into an angle back into the cloud bank. The dive bomb dragon, as you so called it, looks to be like off in the horizon and taking another turn back around again. As you dip back down into the cloud bank, you see twisting and roiling behind you the dragon that's been tailing you about a football field length behind. It sees you, the nose point downwards, and it just rolls and disappears in the cloud bank.
Full stop.
I'm gonna try to say
Slow
the
spell clutch.
repeats.
Can you do that?
No, only Chris can.
Think we can take these two?
We might have to.
I think they're gonna destroy the airship.
We can't just keep going like this. We either have to burn all of our fuel or land.
Well, the thing's disappeared into the clouds. Can we just come to a dead stop and hope that he sails on by?
No, there's 2 of them.
Oh, hell.
There's like a smoke dragon that's like constantly like veiling smoke and has like apparently some sort of ability to control smoke. And then there's the really super fast fighter dragon, the black one.
They don't seem to care about the cloud cover. Like they seem to be able to just track us right through it.
As you look up, you're still at a 7. You see the giant ring of the smoke ring that kind of keeps you, not smoke ring, like the air ring, air elemental bound airship that you're at. While you're at a 5, it's like kind of swirling storm. But now that you're like up above, you're like in a 7, like 6 and 7, it's just roiling electricity.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that back. I don't want to spend a lot of time at that level.
Okay. You pull it back. Give me a number.
Back to a 5 again.
Okay.
This
Back
time
to the 5.
pointed downward, so gravity should be helping too.
Okay. Every once in a while, there's arcing electricity, but it still kind of goes to like storm cloud, gray. As you point it down, you begin falling. You're maybe 30 seconds away from entering the cloud bank. What's everybody doing? Terrence is busy piloting. Quincy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stick my head out onto the deck and just keep an eye out. If I see one, I'm just gonna blast it.
All right. What about Alan?
Kind of wanted to anchor myself to, I don't know, a railing or something and just take aim.
Are you on the deck?
Yeah.
All right. Alan rushes out, anchors himself really quick, like ties a rope, puts his wrist through it, gets the big crossbow out. What about Ballstar? Smoldering?
I'm going to heal myself. How many times? I'm going to use a couple charges for my heal wand.
Okay.
I say we land this shit.
Yeah, we got to land and fight. I don't want to blow this. I don't want to blow all our fuel and get the ship destroyed.
You have one other container of fuel. You had 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are headed down. As soon as we break through the bottom of the clouds, I'm looking for a place to land.
Yes.
I just want to see what I see.
Okay. You guys enter within 30 seconds. It goes from like bright blue sky, all of a sudden back into the cloud cover. Everything. It's all you hear is wind whistling as the speed you have is still kind of propelling you forward, but you've begun this downward trajectory. You can kind of feel the pits of your stomach all kind of enter into your throat as you feel the fall at this point. There's a definite change in atmosphere as soon as you feel the volume of the clouds. Both of you on deck, give me perception checks.
19.
18.
Both of you see about 100 feet off, coming at you perpendicular, is the other slower movement as you see the clouds moving in a weird way. You see kind of like a fish out of murky water, the slower dragon coming.
He's 100 feet away.
What?
He's 100 feet.
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay, I'm gonna hit him with a guiding bolt.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, go for it.
Level 3. Oh yeah, that's it's 24.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
You shoot a blazing bolt of light into the cloud cover. It goes through, pierces. All of a sudden, it hits like square on the side of the head. You see it kind of reel back, and its whole body light up. It's got maybe like a 45, 50 foot wingspan. The body itself isn't that big, but the wingspan's very, very large. This particular one, most time you've seen it's been wreathed in the smoke. This one seems more like large crests, like an alligator almost, like a big kind of like wide head, short stubby face, very, very large wings. The claws, the 4 feet kind of tucked in for aerodynamic sake. But you can see this one, it's got large horns even at the tips of its wings. It doesn't veer off course, but it definitely lights up. You guys can see him very well throughout the cloud cover now.
When it lights up, I'd like to fire a shot.
And you get advantage on it.
I do?
Yeah, because I hit it, so the next attack has advantage on it. It did 20 damage, by the way.
Good.
Radiant.
20 radiant.
Yeah. Nice.
What was it?
I got a crit.
Yay!
Oh, nice. Badass.
So, how do I do damage for a crossbow again?
It's a D10 plus your dexterity plus the weapon bonus, which is +2, right?
Oh yeah, it is a +2. So D10 plus, what did you say?
Plus
Dexterity?
+2. And then the D10 is doubled or whatever for the crit.
Yeah.
What is that song? Is that Hook?
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
What is it?
Home Alone.
Oh, Home Alone.
So damage is terrible. 12.
12 with a crit?
Yep.
Alright. Still, you manage to get a poof. You shoot it. It seems to hit like some of the hard carapace on the head. The arrow, the bolt sticks. It doesn't stop. It keeps going. You guys get your pot shots off. It closes the distance pretty quick. You can see its wings immediately go from like moving straight to a quick air brake as it lurches up its body, going vertical as the claws come out to try to grapple the airship.
I'm sorry, it was 14. I forgot to add the +2.
Oh, okay. Ballstar, are you doing anything?
It's a crapshoot. I'm gonna try an Earthbind. It's 300-foot range. So that's
You're down
gonna...
below decks, though, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna peek out. I'm going
Okay.
on deck to check.
What does that have to roll?
Oh, this sucks. 18 strength save.
DC 18 strength save?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let's get lucky.
I rolled a 17.
Whoa! Okay, so he goes down.
That's a +8 and I rolled a 9.
He drops 60 feet a turn.
Wow. Okay, so like air brake going ready for the grapple. It's like maybe 10, 15 feet away.
Damn.
What does the Earthbind look like?
It's a bunch of anvils, mystical anvils appear on all of his limbs and just
it comes in, it looks all graceful and terrifying and silent. All of a sudden it gets 15 feet away and just you can see just fruitlessly tries to snap up at the airship as it just gets starts falling immensely quicker. How long does that last?
That's a minute.
But it
Oh,
can,
Jesus.
it can re-roll every turn,
Let me see here.
right? It's gotta.
It doesn't say anything about re-rolling on a turn.
Oh, wow.
I'd have to lose concentration, I think.
Dang.
So it's just concentration?
I'm reading
That's
it here.
60.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
tight.
not seeing anything about a save.
Alright. It just the smoke that it radiates just gets like its jaws in the front of its body just gets lost in the smoke as the tail end just starts falling and it just starts tumbling.
It actually worked! Oh my god! Holy shit!
Now the airship starts falling quicker and quicker and quicker. I don't think you're all the way through the bank yet. I think you're maybe like halfway through the cloud bank. What's everybody doing now that the silent smoke monster has disappeared somewhere?
Terrence, I think we got a chance to lose the one of them. You think you can punch it for a minute?
See in the can.
Nice.
I'll increase the speed a little bit.
Give me a number.
We just need enough to lose him.
Yeah, I'll go to a 7 just momentarily.
Okay. It goes from roiling smoke again to just kind of not solid electricity, but there's definitely like crackles that's very, very often. And you can start to see the bright light reflect off the rest of the cloud bank. Every once in a while, there's like a very loud as it lashes out to any sort of part of cloud that's close. Pointed almost straight down. With a 7, you break the cloud bank very easily. Back down into the wastes. You see below you, you've traveled quite a bit forward. I'd say maybe you're downward. You're not quite over the canyon yet, but you can see it's pretty close. As you see this canyon just stretch out to the horizon, like spider webs or some sort of like large impact, just like creating these large canyons.
What sort of angle would I have to take to land down into the canyon rather than on the wastes?
It would be pretty shallow. You'd have to like go forward pretty far.
All right. I think we're just fighting on the plains here.
You gonna take a steeper angle?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're just gonna get to the ground.
Go down to the ground. You start nose diving. There you can see you two that are up on the deck. You can see the smoke dragon still struggling, earth binding, still falling like a comet out of the clouds. You still at a 7. I think if you're going at a 7, you end up kind of passing the dragon. He's just naturally falling. You get closer and closer, like 700 feet, 600 feet, 500 feet.
Yeah, I'm breaking by now.
Okay. Yeah, you see the electricity just fade, go back to like a smoke ring. You're going insanely fast. Everybody on deck is just like skin just taut against your skulls as the wind is incredible. As you level out as you can, going just ridiculous amount. You 2 on deck, give me perception checks with disadvantage because it's so fucking fast.
I rolled 18 and 19.
Damn.
17.
23.
23? 23 gets it. As you see, not diving, but as something break the cloud bank and then go straight parallel the cloud bank. Very, very fast, but at the angle that you're going, with the speed that you're going, you're pulling away from it super quick. As it was diving straight down and then just goes. So you're kind of going steep, and it's going over. So it'll end up like getting farther away from you quicker. But
I'll
it'll
radio
probably be
that.
heavy by the time you hit the ground.
I'll radio that to the crew and everybody. Like current course, we're losing them.
How close are you getting to the ground, Terrence?
It's pretty flat, right? The landscape.
Yeah, until you hit the canyon, and then it just like starts to wind. It starts shallow at first, and then it just like immediately like, deepens to like where sunlight doesn't really hit the bottom.
Alright, I'll try to maintain speed as long as we're pulling ahead at a level out at about like 50 feet off the ground.
Okay, so you're pretty close. Yeah, you're going. As soon as you get close to the ground, you just see how fucking fast you're going. Just below you, it's dizzying to see. Like before you know it, you've crossed most of the plains and have crossed over to the beginning of the canyon. Give me one more perception check with disadvantage because of the speed.
19.
Damn, disadvantage.
14 and 16.
26.
Dang.
I rolled
Jesus.
a nat 20 and an 18.
You're still buffeted, and it's like the speed is dizzying, but your eye catches something far off ahead of you, and you do see that black spot stand out against some of the white and gray overcast cloud, and you see that it hasn't turned around. It's just going straight.
Looks like we might have lost him. Black one's just headed straight in the sky.
Well, he's straight overhead, though, right?
No, he's
He's
Alright. I'm gonna steer the ship. Like, how wide is this canyon? Like, is this like narrow cracks, or is this like?
you're at the beginning of it, so it is kind of narrow cracks. They maybe start off going like 10, 20 feet shallow. Maybe just like water that was, like the rain would come out and spread out here. There's even a little bit of plant life, not lush, but you can see some trees, actually some leaves on it here. Maybe like when it storms bad, all the water rushes out here. But you see pretty quickly the caverns go from somewhere you can see to like not necessarily widening out, but deepening much quicker than they widen out.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna watch how the landscape changes, and when I see an opportunity, I'm gonna tell everyone to hang on, prepare to break, and then as soon as I see the opportunity, I'm gonna break hard and get down to the canyon.
Okay. Not quickly, maybe 5 minutes goes by of just tense silence and speed. So you guys are just pulling away, trying to be as quiet as possible. The deep, narrow canyons, some of them begin to open up in the center, widen out, and kind of shallow. Kind of shallow, like maybe like 60, 70 feet deep. Eventually you see one, you pull the brake a little bit, pull off to the side to air brake, slow down, everybody kind of lurches, and you just not slowly, but gracefully set way down a cavern about 60 feet down. You can still see some of the sunlight, but the cavern is this kind of pretty sandstone that's very, very well weathered and layered. You can see different shades of brown and red and gray with small bits of dried plant life sticking out from some of the rocks, some cracks. It seems almost wet and mushy and muddy down here. There's not a lot of moisture up above on the tops of where you were, but it looks like down below you see just like puddles of like mud. It looks gross to like walk through down there, boggy almost.
All right. So at very low speed, carefully, I'm gonna just keep making my way through the cracks and look for maybe like a cave system or just some place that's not visible from above.
Okay. You go through another 5-6 minutes. You don't spot any sort of cave system. Most of this is just like gaping cracks. A lot of them just kind of narrow to dead ends. A lot of them just narrow off and like widen back up. But there's one kind of track that you can kind of follow at slow pace, not crash into anything. Almost like it would be a river at one point. It doesn't ever like close up around you, but
Right.
it definitely deepens as you go from like 60 feet maybe to like 150 at the lowest point. And at that point, the shade of the canyon begins to you don't see the sun anymore. You definitely see the point of where the sun only ever hits, as that part is nice and layered and smooth, but then it gets to like muddier and dankier, and you start to see more plant life, more fungal growths and such.
All right, and then I just want to look out for like kind of a rocky area. If there's a place that we could stage a fight if we needed to.
Okay. You're not going to find a lot of rocky ground here. It's going to be muddy. It's going to be this gross gray red, like silt, almost pockmarked with like different boulders that are tossed. You can see a lot of the plant life seems to be mushed over in a specific way. Like there was a current here at one point.
Okay. Then how do I know about like the stealth features on the ship? Like how slow is it? Can it be moving with stealth, or does it have to kind of park?
It can only really move very, very slowly with the stealth. With like the ring almost turns completely translucent with no electricity. It doesn't make any sound, but you can maybe move at like a 1, a 2 a little bit, but it kind of breaks after that.
Alright, so yeah, we're gonna go into stealth mode, and we're just gonna spend some time cruising around these cracks and see if, just watch out to see what happens.
Okay. What's everybody else doing?
Watching the sky.
Yeah, I'm nervous about this canyon. That thing blasted my ass so bad.
Did it shoot something?
It
Yeah.
dragon breathed me in the
Oh.
face. Usually I just get hit in my animal forms, and it's not that bad. That sucked ass.
So everybody made it. Enric and everyone got onto the airship?
Yeah, he's just below deck, chilling. So, what went wrong there? Did we find anything close to what that Rakshasa dude said? Were we even in the right place?
That seems like the right place, but I wonder if there's an entrance to the chamber, or if he meant for us to be ambushed.
I assumed he tried to screw us over, but do you think there was something true to what he was saying?
You did. You remember you guys kind of got distracted by the
Yeah, we saw.
the loot, but you found Quincy and On-Off both found at the center of the lake what looked to be the roof of a building.
Terrence, I got inspiration.
Fuck! Terrence saw the roof of what looked to be buildings buried in the silt of the that lake area.
It was below the water?
It was beneath the water, like 40
Oh,
feet. He saw spires of buildings sticking out. He even saw a large kind of cathedral-esque building, like the roof, like a steeple of one, with windows that looked to be entry points.
And then I saw the A's.
Do you think they were reacting to us being there, or do you think that was just they were just flying around doing their thing?
Oh, we perturbed the nest, I thought.
You guys were very loud.
That's right.
I would like to start accounting of the gold and crap that we smuggled aboard.
Okay.
Can I do detect magic as a ritual?
Sure.
See if there's any cool stuff.
Let's see.
Guess what? We had the bucket brigade going, didn't we?
We had 2.5 bags of loot.
All right. You got your pens and papers out if you're gonna start accounting stuff.
Yes.
All right.
You got it, Michael?
Give me 1 second.
1 second.
Alrighty. Yes.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Tristan. Hold on, sorry, I just lost it. No!
Shit, I did have advantage on dex saves. Damn it.
Why?
I have resilient.
That just makes you proficient in it.
Advantage on dex saves is what I wrote. +1 dex, advantage on dex saves. Unless I wrote it down wrong.
Proficiency in dex saves. That's what it gives you.
Sorry, give me a second.
Oh, that's fine. I'm an idiot. Do you have the playbook?
So about you underneath the pants there. Underneath the pants.
Okay. You find 400 gold. I mean, that's like different. Like copper pieces, silver pieces, gold.
Yeah.
It's all together. It's about 4,000 gold.
Whoa!
4,000? Oh, you said 4.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 4,000 is what I meant.
Okay.
You find a whole bunch of gems. You find one banded agate worth 11 gold. 2 eye agates worth 13 gold. 2 rondo crocites, each worth about 11 gold. 1 onyx worth 20. 1 smoky quartz worth 60.
How many
The
onyx?
total of those gems equal 128 gold. You find a whole bunch of other weird like art objects. You find a bolt of this cloth that woven with electrum, like this fusing of silver and gold, and the bolt of cloth is set with like a red garnet. That's worth 4,000 gold.
Holy wow.
You find a pair of bronze dice set with malachite. That one's worth 400 gold.
Jeez.
You find a crystal figurine of a dwarf king set with sardonyx worth 700 gold. You find a lacquered wooden miniature of a tower set with lapis lazuli worth 500 gold. You find a weird pair of boots with platinum buckles, 500 gold. A leopard fur talisman set with obsidian, 400 gold. A porcelain totem of a heart wreathed in a continual magical flame, 3,000 gold.
Jesus.
A silk coat, 40 gold. A small carpet threaded with platinum, 2,000 gold.
Wait, can you repeat the last two? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. A silk coat worth 40 gold, and a small carpet threaded with platinum, 2,000 gold.
Good lord.
The total of all of those objects should equal 17,740 gold.
Oh my god.
Lord.
Is my magic senses going off?
Yep. You find a scroll case that looks very well preserved. As you open it up, it's wet, but everything else inside seems to be dry. It's laced with a nice green velvet. Inside, you find a scroll of cause fear, a scroll of detect secret doors, and a scroll of detect poison.
Detect poison. Like a trap?
You find one potion of superior healing,
Whoa.
8d4 plus 8.
Damn.
You find a rod. This rod looks to be, it's simple. It looks like on the inside of it, but coiled around it is this really beautiful python sculpture that winds up and down it. And every once in a while, when you look at it, you can kind of see almost like something's moving underneath the skin, as if the muscles still move. You can write that down as the Rod of the Python. You find a wand of acid arrow
Nice.
with 5 charges in it.
Hell yeah. I'll take that if nobody wants that. I need some
And
spell
you find a necklace that's bright gold. It's very, very warm to the touch. That has 3 inset rubies. It's kind of gaudy looking, but as you look closer to the rubies, it looks like there's a fire roiling in each one of those. It's a necklace of fireballs.
Whoa.
At any point, you can pluck off one of those rubies and chuck it, and it explodes into a fireball.
3 use and done?
And that's it.
Okay, cool.
That brings the absolute total of that whole hoard to 42,810 gold.
Nice.
God. Hallelujah.
Can we identify the Rob?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
Acid arrow. That's like a level 2 or 3 spell, right?
He's level 2.
I need some just pew pews.
Or might be level 1.
Oh, this will be fun. I'll snap this and send it in the group me, but I'll just read it really quick. It requires a attunement by a cleric, druid, or warlock. You can use an action to speak the staff's command word and throw the staff on the ground within 10 feet of you. The staff becomes a giant constrictor snake under your control and acts on its own initiative count. By using a bonus action to speak the command word again, you return the staff to its normal form. On your turn, you can mentally command the snake if it's within 60 feet of you and you aren't incapacitated. You decide what action the snake takes and where it moves during its next turn, or you can issue a general command such as attack to your enemies or guard a location. If the snake is reduced to 0 hit points, it dies. It reverts to a staff form. The staff then shatters and is destroyed. If the snake reverts to a staff form for losing all of its hit points, it regains all of them. But a giant python is actually huge in size.
Oh.
Wow.
So he's 3 by 3.
Snakes.
Yeah.
Snakes. I don't know no snakes.
Can your boy get that acid wand? Anybody care?
Can I tell you?
Who wants to be the snake handler?
I think
You should have that.
Then it has to be a cleric, druid, or
Oh,
warlock.
cleric.
Oh, okay.
Is Gargolina a warlock?
She's she? Yeah, she's a warlock.
She's a
Okay.
warlock.
She's not a sorcerer.
Nope.
But she'd have to
She's a
return
warlock,
the
yeah.
thing, right?
It does require attunement, though, remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she has 3 things to gem.
All right.
There was some ring that took her finger off, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the crit ring? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. I don't know what else she's got though.
So that's Melf's acid arrow. Is that the spell that uses?
Yep.
Okay. 5 charges, right?
5 charges.
Yay.
It does not regenerate.
Oh, really? Just 1 and done? Okay.
But it doesn't require attunement.
Oh, okay.
And there's also the necklace of fireballs too. Remember that. That can be attuned by anybody, but it does take attunement.
That is attunement. Okay. Cool. What do you guys?
You guys are in the middle, like counting all this and divvying it up, feeling somewhat safe. Way off in the distance, you feel just tremors of an earthquake.
Oof.
You almost feel like you hear a bassy roar kind of echo through the cavern. Far, far, far away, but
Hmm.
How much of a dent did we make in the treasure that was actually all there.
You didn't.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What do we want to try to lay low for a bit, take a snooze, and then try to sneak back over there? What's the plan?
Yes, I think we ought to wait a good long time before we try again.
Yeah. Probably. The nice thing about this was we had the two smaller dragons away from the big one.
Are we talking about going back?
I
Yeah.
was talking about what our next step is.
I think we need to go back under cover of darkness.
Yeah, we could stealth in the ship.
Portal.
But I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be not so easy to stealth inside a dragon's lair.
Also, you have to park the airship and then go into the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, we even
So
from what I recall of the area around the lake, was it like attached to a mountain at all, or is it all pretty flat?
It's pretty flat. From like there's like wastes, which is kind of flat, and then it kind of rises to the like these weird sharp mounds. Mountains, really just more like weird. Like you guys play, I'll play. Oh, you guys never played Oblivion, did you? But it's just weird. It's like strange asymmetrical sculptures that just kind of like rise out that are really sharp out of like a wasteland. And then that kind of like goes for a little while, and then all of a sudden there's this huge fucking volcano, mountain-sized, in the middle of nowhere. No other like formations like it around. But that's like maybe 6-7 times larger than everything else. And then kind of offset to the side as there's like this kind of permanent lava flows just like out of a hole in the side lower in the volcano. There's just magma flowing out. The natural like formation of that has caused like a bowl to like continually build up, which has caused magma to pool in this like lake of fire, pretty much. It's very, very large. It's like a small man-made lake of lava. So that's maybe a third tall, like almost sheer cliff, just like runny, cool magma. That's maybe a third as tall as the actual volcano. Kind of offset in an angle, and then in like the cleavage of those two is that small little pool that's maybe 500 feet by maybe 1,000 or 1,500.
Okay, so there would be a place to kind of leave the ship stealth and hovering, kind of park it like in a cove somewhere or against the wall.
yeah, but we'd still be walking into a dragon's lair. Do we?
You didn't see them come out of the actual volcano, of the big part of the volcano. That's where they seem to have emerged from, where Big Lava Mama did.
Gotcha. But that's their horde at least, so they gotta be going there a lot. If that's not where they usually are chilling.
Well, I mean, we can approach slowly under stealth and watch for them.
Yeah.
I think we need to recover first. Anyone who's spent some spell slots needs to get those back.
But if things go bad, then like we're fighting 3 dragons. Like that's not good. Like it'd be nice to wipe out 1 or 2.
Should we go dragon hunting? Pick one off?
I like the idea. I'm so scared of destroying this ship. I guess you gotta break some eggs, huh?
I'm sure we can draw it away from the ship.
Yeah. I'm glad we're all alive, but I almost wish we had found a chance to tussle with those. Or
One of them
Yeah,
was
yeah.
ready to grab the whole airship.
yeah,
Yeah. And those are the smaller ones.
yeah. There was a much bigger one.
The-
Didn't really notice us.
The big one could just wreck our ship with one dragon breath.
How long have we been here? Do you think? Like 15 minutes?
How long have you been parked here?
Yeah.
I'd say like the better part of a couple hours. If you guys are actually like going through that horde and like
Sure.
identifying and picking out everything.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And did anybody else get hurt? Y'all okay?
I'm fine.
All right. Yeah. Do we want to? Well, shit. How stealthy is this thing? This ship.
I think it's pretty good.
I mean, it's like basically invisible, traveling at super slow speed.
Do we want to just do some kind of reconnaissance?
Yeah.
Slow.
Enric comes up onto the deck as you guys are talking about this. Not stumbling, but he looks a little jostled. He was down there helping on-off count everything. He's very good at figuring out how much stuff is worth, so he was giving his best opinion. And as you promised him 20% of it, he was very meticulous in counting what he wants. He did ask for one thing of his choosing,
Yeah.
but he hasn't picked one yet. So,
Yeah.
but he stumbles across and just kind of joins the conversation. He goes, "So are we? What are we? Are you going to kill those things?"
I mean,
I would rather not.
Ideally, no. I mean, I don't think we can. I don't think we can even touch that huge one. I mean, we're trying to get into that pool, and I think you're coming with us. I can make it so we can all breathe underwater, but we're gonna need your help once we get down there.
Well, that is why you hired me, I suppose.
Best case
This has
scenario.
been a trip so far. I think by the time we go home, I will have earned my 20%.
Yeah, we'll see.
So we can stealth in. As you were saying, this ship is good at stealth, yeah?
I vote we wait till dead of night, stealth it in.
We're also pretty far from where we were because we were traveling
yeah.
at a
Like
high
grip.
speed. For
I-
Here's,
We
go,
can,
go.
at stealth speed, it would take probably several hours to get back, I would imagine, but
Oh, it might take a day. Which is
I don't know about a day. Several hours is probably better. Maybe 3 or 4.
yeah, I mean, we could. If we're stealthing in, we can just watch their behavior. If they're on guard, if they're patrolling, if there's nothing going on, then we just waltz right in.
These things, they tracked us in the clouds, right?
Yeah, they seem to know
Who's-
just where we were.
Who is to say that they need light at all to be able to track us? Maybe if we go at dark, maybe we are the ones at disadvantage.
could be.
Yeah, dragons are known
I
for.
don't know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, I don't see why we need to wait any longer.
Well, just to heal up and get our spells back.
Do we want to wait a full day?
What if we do kill one of them?
It might.
Are these smart? I mean, the dragon we fought, he was taking advantage of a whole bunch of snake people. Like they're
all dragons know what they're doing.
they're not. I think if we take one out, the other ones are going to be hell bent on killing us. I don't think we can kill all of them.
Maybe, but that is also projecting human emotions on another being. Dragons love power. From what the lore that I've read, they love power more than any other sort of bonds. They simply bond together because they're young or because they have some sort of benefit, right? Maybe if you kill one, revenge isn't something I maybe go to firsthand. I mean, it might be. These dragons are very strange.
Huh.
They did not talk. They barked at each other, first of all, but they seem to have a tactical intelligence.
The only reason I wanted to even fight them was because if we're going in there, I don't want to get caught with our tails between our legs and then just, have our death, for sure. Like,
Yeah, what if we find something worse down in the library and then we try running away from that and run straight into this family?
yeah,
That would
exactly.
be bad.
I think I have an idea. I think we take as much time as we need to do a proper reconnaissance. We, first of all, need to find out if they can see us in our stealth, when the ship is in stealth.
Yeah.
So we can stay far away on the outskirts and wait until one of the smaller ones flies away. We can try and encounter it in stealth to see if it recognizes us, and either way, take it out.
Are they going to bait it?
No, only if it clearly sees us will we engage.
Well, just the important thing is not to attract any of the others along with it. It needs to be isolated.
If it doesn't see us, then we can just keep doing recon and see if they ever split up at all, or
I can, if we get close, like up on the actual mountain, I can try to keep tabs on them. I can kind of sense where they are, but it doesn't have a great range.
I think I can also do clairvoyance.
I just don't want to get too close and have a repeat where we have to flee all three or potentially more of them.
Yeah, I have a feeling perhaps those tactics will not work again. They seem to have been learning of how we were controlling the airship where we were going.
Also, if we get within a mile, I can do a little clairvoyance.
Yes, I think we spend a good amount of time, several days perhaps, learning their habits, tracking their movements, and waiting for an opportunity to strike one down.
And we stay down here in the storm canyons?
Well, no, we'll have to take the ship in, but keep a very safe distance.
I feel there's not a lot of cover up near the mountain besides the mountain itself. Crossing that distance might be difficult.
You the ship?
Yeah, with the ship, yes, but you said in stealth mode you cannot move very quickly, yeah?
That's right. I think patience is still the key here.
I like it. We don't have a lot of alternatives. Makes sense to me.
Well, why don't we, those who need to recover their magical reserves will benefit from a rest. And I will, after I rest for my 4 hours, I'll begin heading back toward the mountain, keeping us under stealth.
We are waiting till nightfall?
We might even try and time it so that we are arriving within reconnaissance distance by first light.
Wait, you want the sun to rise when we first get there?
Yes.
I feel being caught in the plains in daylight might be a bad idea.
Well, again, we don't know under what conditions stealth has any effect.
I suppose you are the more experienced troop.
I mean, this ship is camouflaged, right? When it goes slow enough, like it's stealth.
You know, it can't go like invisible. It can like kind of change its color a little bit, like on the underside, and move very silently. But it can't like just go invisible.
Okay.
Okay. So from the underside is where it kind of camouflages. All right. So then we'll.
Shoot.
All right. Are you gonna try to go in on foot then?
Yeah. What was the terrain like around the mountain? Was it that hellscape desert, or was that just by the Rakshasa camp?
It's pretty much just wasteland,
Okay.
So even if we go
cracked,
on
dry
foot,
ground.
it's just a bunch of schmucks over the land.
Yeah, we
With
look.
no cover.
We could sneak though. We could use like magic and stuff to sneak. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't make this whole ship disappear. Or maybe we could. Major illusion the ship.
What does major illusion do?
I mean, if the dragons can't see right through it, we could maybe make it look like a whole cloud or something. I don't know.
Well, it would be very time sensitive. We would have to be quite lucky to. It could get us out of the bind.
Right. It doesn't last very long, is what you're saying?
I believe can maintain it for an hour at a time.
I think intelligent creatures can.
Yeah, I'll probably see right through it.
illusions.
Plus, if we're like a little cloud zipping around, might be kind of obvious. It sounds like we got to go in on foot. This sucks.
Well, that also, if we did that, it would severely limit our escape.
Or any sort of treasure that we find in the library as well, huh?
Yeah. I think we need to pilot the ship right up to the pool under cover of darkness.
How far away do you have to be to keep the illusion up?
John, does it get dark here?
Yeah, it gets dark.
Okay, alright. I thought it kind of just stayed at the
Yeah,
same way.
it has to be pretty close, at 120 feet.
Oh, so there's no way you can keep up the illusion to park the ship. That is unfortunate.
Park the sheep. Yeah, I mean, if we were in darkness, we could do the stealth mode and just like do like a dark sky color. I don't know.
Do we park it up high?
Yeah.
I suppose, how would we get back up to the ship, though?
Mm,
Is the pool ground level?
No.
So we would need to get up to it anyway.
Perhaps we should revisit the idea of a bait.
I like that.
So all we need to do is catch enough attention from one of them to draw it away just enough so that it can't call the others.
So what do? Do we grab an egg and run? Who's the sorry soul that will grab it?
What's our end game here? When we distract him, are we trying to pick one off? Are we trying to run into the library while it's away? What happened?
Perhaps we set out some of the shinier bits of treasure.
Wait, Terrence, could you just message one of those dragons?
The green one talked, didn't he? These ones probably talk.
Well, then we enter more into if they were engaging it intelligently. and it knows that we have other plans. For now, I assume that it thinks of us as nothing more than thieves.
That's true.
You have killed many more dragons than I have, but is diplomacy an option here?
I don't think they're to be trusted.
Well, I did not say trust. I just meant diplomacy, so you're not, exploded on sight.
Well, I don't know. I prefer not to risk it. But we could.
Is that crazy? What if we pull? I don't know. What if we tell them we'll like give them all the treasure we find? And we're just looking for one thing.
But what about my 20%?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
Don't they
20,
own?
let me see. 20% of one is less than one.
Well, I mean, we already have a very good amount.
We could cut that around.
And
No, we haven't come for cash. We've come for the artifact.
I don't know, man. I think that it's ambitious. My thought is we find a way to lure the smaller ones away, kill them, find a way to distract the big one while he's out, run into the pool.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We killed both of the ones that just kicked our ass in the sky at the same time.
They didn't kick our ass. We were saving them from blowing up our only escape.
So where do we stage this? We have hellscape, mountain hellscape. There's lava hellscape, canyon hellscape. What?
Anything with solid ground. Lava doesn't do anything to him, obviously.
He kind of like looks down into the squishy, gross muddiness of the bottom of the canyon. That, my friend, does not look too solid to me. And it smells very bad.
Yeah, we'll have to get out of this canyon for sure.
I say we start making our way over at least.
I agree.
For observation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say what?
Let's make our way back over there. Stealth speed. Might as well.
Yes, I believe we can just patrol from a safe distance and hope that one of them wanders over to us close enough that we can engage it.
You see Enric is still looking back below underneath the airship. And he goes, there's a strange ecosystem down there. He kind of points, he goes, look, there's things moving around. As you guys kind of look, there's like crustacean things just like moving around in the muck. One of them like looks to be like a good size, like maybe 3 or 4 feet wide. Just this large, like spidery crab hermit thing.
Yeah.
I would like to sort of bow for harpoon.
You gonna harpoon it?
Yeah, I smell dinner.
Okay. Are you doing a bow?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll an attack roll.
Natural 1.
I think you shoot it and it just like hits a part of the carapace that just like arrow just cracks on it. You see it stops whatever it's doing and you see like one huge hulking claw kind of come up and like point towards the ground, kind of shield itself. And then you see like eye stalks just kind of appear out from underneath the shell. 4 or 5 eye stalks just begin like looking around slowly and lazily.
Do we have cookware?
What?
Do we have cookware aboard the Fang?
Oh yeah. It was like a sous vide.
This is dinner for a week. Cause Mage Hand's only like 5 pounds, right?
Yeah.
What's the telekinesis? Is that the one where you can move things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna lift that sucker up.
Really?
Can you just like dismember his carapace like with telekinesis?
Alright. You gonna telekinesis it to death?
Yeah.
Let's get full on Akira it.
Jeremy's gonna tear its shell apart and tear its arms off.
Okay. You look down, it just begins floating up. It's a large rock, about 4 or 5. It's like conical, not really conical. It's just like a boulder. As you pick it up, you see eye stalks just kind of shoot out from underneath it. Some of them, like these weird stalks, just start looking around. You see like dozens of these crustacean legs. They're just gross. Like some of the legs are covered in other smaller legs. Just like as soon as you pick it up, the one large defensive claw is just like snapping wherever it can. You pull it up, and it's just goopy, gross, smelly mud. As you turn it around, it's kind of like this bright orange color underneath, and you can see like a starfish. Very, very center of it. There's just this orifice that's opening out like a well, what's that? An aperture, like just like you pull it up, and it just explodes into all the different pieces.
Put him in the tub.
Parts, you just get this whiff of like smelly earth and like salt as it just splits into a whole bunch of different pieces. There's like this is essentially like a giant hermit crab that's just made of legs and one giant mouth. There's like a stomach and just eye stalks everywhere. You dismember it, put it onto the airship. There, dozens of spider crab legs, like the size of your forearm.
I start washing him
as
in the
you-
jacuzzi.
As you harvest, you pluck it with like this sound. You get like the gross meaty animal part from like the calcium deposits that it like oozes out the top to make like the shell. The outside looks like muddy rock, but as you turn it over, it's like very pearlescent.
Ooh.
I'll boil some water.
What like it's kind of this breastplate you're talking about is like pearl.
Like the top part of it, like the carapace shell of it, yeah.
Okay.
Like the top part of it looks like rock and it's like gross, but like the inside's like pearlescent.
Oh, alright. Yeah, I'll keep that, put that in the treasure pile.
It smells really bad.
I'm gonna clean it with my my magic brush.
Magic brush.
Yep, it cleans everything.
Where did you get that?
Let's see.
Is it
We got it
a bargain
some-
bin find?
back
Yeah.
room.
In what?
Where did we get that?
I don't remember it.
We bought a lot of weird magic items from like the discount bin.
Yeah, that's true.
Magic cleaning brush. I used it to get the smell out of the fire room.
Okay. It kind of makes sense. Yeah, sure. Why not? You get the smell off of it. You start boiling stuff. As soon as you saw that thing and the commotion of that thing in the mud as you pick it up, you see there's just other, like, dozens of other smaller things kind of scuttling away in the mud as that thing, like, kind of look like the big boss man of this little area. But you pick that one up. You do notice, as when you dismember it and kind of put it, you guys are looking at it, a little farther way off in the canyon, there's a boulder that moves just slightly. That's like 11 feet tall.
Let's get moving, guys.
Start our journey back to the mountain.
Yeah. So do we want to just kind of tour around the area and they may be coming back here to search around.
Well, yeah, we should.
Back here in the the storm canyons.
Possible, right?
Well, like, if you go farther east, there's just barbarians. Here, there's flash floods and things crawling around in the muck, apparently.
I say just start the caravan back, and we keep an eye open for scouting dragons.
How big of one of these crustaceans can you pick up with this telekinesis?
Was it 1,000 pounds?
Oh, that one's pretty big. I don't know if it's 1,000 pounds, but anyway, enough fishing, shooting crabs in the barrel. If we have business we must attend to, let us attend to it.
Agreed.
So you guys resting first, having a crab meal, getting all your magic stuff back.
I am having the meal.
Yeah,
Might as well, I guess.
away from that big animal though.
You just kind of scoot away from it.
Yeah.
Cool. You do begin to see, as you kind of pass by, that one rock is just kind of another piece of another rock that's like moving together. Some large, deep, weird chasm beast. Yeah, you guys pick another place. You rest up. You eat the crab. A little gamey. It's not really salty, but you do get like grainy little sand bits in it from just it being in the muck for so long. I think it begins to drizzle after a while. You sit here eating. It begins kind of raining. You do see the canyon floor very quickly go from like just like still mud to very swift currents that like build up pretty quick. Even at like 8-9 inches, you can still kind of start to see rapids start to form a little bit.
Hey, T-Money, you want to pull us up? I don't know how soon we might get washed out of here.
Oh, you guys are fine. Like I assume you guys are 20-30 feet up. But
Okay.
you just begin to notice it a little bit. That's all.
Hey, since we're suddenly flush with cash, I got a new thing I can do. I can make us all dinner, and then we'll have like a whole lot of extra hit points.
Oh, yeah.
What does it cost?
1,000?
What
But
is
we each get max HP bonuses for a day.
And you are immune to fear.
Yeah, which is
And
huge.
poison. Yeah, we're fighting
Which is-
dragons. We'll
yeah.
need that.
Oh, that sounds real. Well, maybe we should do that when we plan to engage.
Yeah, like a
now
little
we're
bit
doing
closer.
scouting.
Well, we got to eat a big ass meal, so I can't do it last minute.
Yeah, so we'll plan it out.
I think we should try and either pick off the dragon first.
Well, who's to say we eat the meal and then truck in and see nothing for hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you waiting on the heroes feast?
Yeah, we're not gonna do it now.
You guys pull up after having a good salty, sandy meal. Alan cooks of the weird chasm beast. You guys pull up out of the canyon late at night because your goal is to get there at the break of dawn.
Works for me.
Sure.
Okay. Go in stealth mode, flying kind of high. You get there, traveling over the wastes up above the canyons. It's pretty easy to see the landmark even in the darkest part of the night because you can still see the glow of the magma. There's always this kind of red haze around the volcano itself. You guys get maybe what? How close are you getting? A mile, a couple miles, half a mile? What?
Say a couple more miles, just so we.
Just to the point where we can. I'd say just to the point where we can see everything on the mountain, but keeping a far distance.
Well, I want to keep far enough away so that they can't see us.
Right, but we want to spot comings and goings.
Well, somewhat. I think part of it is hoping that one of them, at least one of the smaller ones, comes out towards us where we can see it and then ambush it without it being able to call back to the others.
If we're within a mile, I can do a clairvoyance.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it'll be a spell slot, but
Just within a mile then?
yeah.
Okay.
And we're approaching from above, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
So what does clairvoyance do?
Okay. So. You create an invisible sensor within range, which is a mile, in a location familiar to you, a place you have visited before. Sensor remains in place for the duration and can't be attacked or otherwise interacted with. When you cast the spell, you choose seeing or hearing. You can use the chosen sense through your sensor as if you were in its space. When you a creature that can see the sensor, such as a creature benefiting from see invisibility or true sight, sees a luminous, intangible orb about the size of your fist.
So does that mean he sees us?
No,
No.
he would just see an orb,
Oh, okay.
even if he could see it.
So what? Where are you putting it?
I'm gonna put it, say, a couple 100 feet above the pool.
Okay. You kind of reach out, seeing or hearing.
Seeing.
How long does it last?
It lasts 10 minutes.
You reach out with the clairvoyance. About 10 minutes. This is just before or just after dawn. You can see the sunset kind of getting light blue. At the you blink over there. You see the clairvoyance. You can kind of look 360 around. You focus on the pool itself, catching a little bit of the sunlight, and you do see some activity in the pool as the pool's kind of rippling. You see a splash. There is the sleek black dragon. I guess he's colored black. He's very skinny. He's very slight. His wings are very, very large for his size, and they all kind of like come to jagged, sharp points. It seems like, as he dives in, like he comes out of the lake of fire, which is pretty far off, and you can see he's just dripping in magma, like all just coated in it. He's just like, some of it like hits the pool and starts steaming. He immediately dives from the lake of fire, spreads his wings out a little bit, sprays magma across the walls, does a low, silent dive, and lands in the pool. With all of the magma covering, just immediately starts cooling. He submerges himself and he just like comes up steaming. You can see all of the magma cooling, not to like the same rock around, but like this sharp obsidian. That's when you kind of see like that, where like all of the like crests and all the sharp points are kind of like forming. The more that he does this, the more like the plates get sharper, the more obsidian kind of like on his wings.
Yeah.
He then goes over to the side of the mountain, just begins like grinding parts off. He does that for, I don't know, 8 or 9 minutes, grinding. You see him then, after he seems to be done grinding, he dips back down into the pool, disappears, and then 10 minutes are up. And Clairvoyance goes away.
Well, I only saw the obsidian one at the pool. He was pretty much just bathing.
What level is clairvoyance?
3rd.
Okay. We could just take turns. I think this is a battle of attrition. So we just take turns pumping out those spells until we have a better idea of what they're up to. And we'll rest and repeat.
Daybreak hits as you guys kind of are done scouting your first round of clairvoyance. And almost the moment the sun breaks, you do feel a rumble from that volcano. You can see as soon as that rumble happens, more just lava begins to kind of bubble out the side, going into the lake of fire, like a large surge of it. A little bit of like flecks of stuff kind of fall out of the open mouth, the maw of the top of the volcano. Little pillars of flame kind of appear different places as soon as daybreak hits. There seems to be some sort of weird activity, even though you're a couple miles off. But other than that, it's hard to see.
With just being just within a mile, how well can we see the actual volcano?
Decently well. You can roll a perception check to try to pick out any finer points if you want.
Yeah, I mean, would we see that giant one come out if it did? From this distance?
Pretty easily, yeah. Last time it like erupted from the volcano, there was like lightning and thunder and another explosion of the actual volcano itself, and it's huge, so it'd be hard to miss.
Alright. Yeah, I'll roll perception. Just to I kind of want to get a feel for is the spot up in the sky that we parked. Would we be able to track any movements of the smaller ones?
Okay.
21.
21. You kind of focus like where you think that you parked last time. You can't quite see the pool where you are. You can kind of see like maybe the part of where it would be part of the formation. You do see every once in a while you'll see like a little burst of like light.
Okay. Around the area where the pool was?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do a clairvoyance as well to see what that is.
Okay. Your sight surges forward. You go back and there is the obsidian dragon, and it's just like aimed up at the wall, and you see it do the air displacement thing where it's like like shooting these explosions just all over the wall. It does it a few times and kind of like roars a little bit. It does that weird like goes into this weird reptilian bark like velociraptor thing, like this.
John, have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
The movie?
No, the series.
Oh yeah.
Is it like the dude with the third eye who blasts? Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
Cool,
it's just like fucking explosions.
Yeah. So we still only see the black.
Oh yeah, so it was 10 minutes. You see him eventually. You see coming out from some of this. Well, you don't really see where it comes from. Almost materializing out of nothing. The other larger, stubbier-looking dragon. You get a better look at it now, and that's not covered in smoke. But it comes from being invisible. This dragon has a grayish underbelly and black scales. Its feet are tipped with smoke gray talons, and it has red tinged wings and blue gray eyes. Small undercurved horns protrude from its head, and its serpentine tail writhes like a plume of smoke from its back. This one's a little bit stubbier, a little bit chunkier than the sleeker black one, but it comes from just being invisible, like the smoke just materializes, and it glides silently down and perches and kind of watches the explosions happen for a second. The obsidian one does it, looks over to the other one, the smoke dragon kind of like snaps at him a little bit. The other one rears back and the other one kind of like barks back. They kind of tussle a little bit. The bigger gray one kind of gets up on its like hind legs and spreads its wings out really, really far. The obsidian one kind of like shirks back, gets on a higher part, and like you see it open its mouth threatening to explode it, but it doesn't do it.
Hey Terrence, how far away can you do those illusions?
Not very far, unfortunately. 120 feet.
Would it be? I don't know. I'm just thinking, is there somehow we can make like a diversion and then follow them going after the diversion?
You're still in clairvoyance, right?
Yeah.
I'd say the last couple minutes, you see them just kind of like fighting, like doing some sort of like dominance display to each other. You have no idea. They just could be playing. But you do notice that they keep kind of pausing when they like fight a little bit. And then you see one something ripple from the water, and coming from the water is a bright crimson tiny little infant dragon. Just waddle its way up onto the beach, kind of nuzzle into like the black one. The black one like looks at it, sniffs it, and then keeps doing explosions on the wall and keeps turning back to the little thing. And that's where clairvoyance ends.
Okay.
You guys seen Jurassic Park 2?
Mm-hmm.
Been a while.
They get a baby T-Rex,
Oh yeah, it's half the damn movie.
and the mother chases it down.
You see, you guys talk about that. Enric is just in the background, like shaking his head.
Seems like they would all come after us at that point.
Yes, the idea is to try and isolate one.
How fast can I go? What can I do?
Well, if the plan is to pull them all away and give us space to enter the cavern.
Ooh, I'm also gonna say, do you specifically tell Trud to stay where you guys are,
Yeah,
or do you
yeah.
just want to let him free roam?
Oh
somewhere?
no, he's
He's very good at going long distances and coming back to you eventually.
I'd say he's below deck.
Yeah, we keep him on board.
Okay, because I was gonna say if you let him roam, he just stay in the canyons and hunt cats and beasts and just eat. But he'll stay with you if you want him combat ready.
He's probably more of a liability in combat. I just don't want him to die.
Put the snake staff on Trud. Put baboon on snake. Can't lose.
Hey, I
Totem pole.
can go really fast as an air elemental.
Okay.
What if I maybe steal that baby? Terrence can make me go extra fast. Hi, Charlie.
Furbies.
I don't think we should steal the baby.
Well, now that's just another thing that can notice us.
Isn't an air elemental like loud? It's like, isn't it always making noise?
I think they're super stealthy, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can we? Do we have any ability to transport the thing far, far away?
What do you mean, the baby?
Yep.
Like teleport him, kind of thing?
Yep.
I mean, Terrence, you can like Misty Step, right?
30 feet.
Dimension door, but that's not that far comparatively.
What's Dimension Door?
500 feet.
Damn.
Other than that, there's teleportation circle, which just takes a whole minute.
I think we just keep watching them and see if they ever separate from one another.
One of them is invisible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the trigger here? What would we go on?
Who are you asking?
All of us?
Well, we can chase it if the black one ventures out far away from the mountain.
Here's what I'm thinking. We pick our battleground. What we're gonna do? I steal a baby. I take them to where we want to fight.
Well, then you'll have a large, massive ancient dragon followed by 2 young juvenile dragons.
Yeah, that's just asking to fight all of them.
Alright.
Are we trying to fight today, like, or are we just trying to gain information? Because we end up wasting all our spells on seeing them.
I think if we can isolate one of them, it will be worth it to attack, regardless of how many spell slots we have to use.
Yeah, I agree, but we're just watching for now still.
Watch away.
Yeah, let's just keep watch.
Okay. How long do you want to wait until your next clairvoyance then?
12 hours? At a mile out, can we see a visible dragon fly away?
A visible dragon?
Yeah.
If you roll a good perception check, maybe.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking how long are you gonna wait until you get clairvoyance?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we could try once an hour,
Yeah.
or if we see any activity that we haven't seen before.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I'd be just scoping the skies. You want me to do a perception?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. $22.
22?
Yes.
I think the next hour, you guys are kind of still watching, waiting, trying to make a plan. You do see you're staring very, very hard at that one particular spot, looking for any sort of change in movement. Eventually, the explosions stop. You look, and just when you're starting to get bored, you can't fucking see anything. You do see a streak, something very quick. Circle up from that area. Begin to kind of do a little bit of a lap around. This takes maybe 20, 25 minutes. You're able to track him. You lose him for a little bit in the smoke of the volcano and the haze. Eventually, you do see another displacement, and you see coming almost towards you, over to the side a little bit, over to your right, or I guess to the east. You notice that something just a black speck moving pretty stupid fast goes by back to where you guys came from the canyon.
Can we chase it?
Sure. Yeah.
If we
All right. I think we chase it, and once we've kind of like really made sure that we've cleared the volcano, then we try to make some show to have a confrontation.
What were you saying, Alan?
if this thing begins to lose, doesn't he just leave us in the dust?
Yeah.
We can slow him. We can earthbind him.
If we get lucky. We got very lucky last time.
Yeah, but
This thing looks like it's headed back towards the canyons.
I say let's follow it.
yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I gotta pee.
To the canyon?
Yes, turn. See where you can do it. I don't know if you lose track of it. I think depending like how fast you want to stay in stealth mode. If you stay in stealth mode, I think you're gonna lose it.
No, we'll. I think time it so that if it sees us, it's gonna see us far away from the mountain.
Yo, can we get a silence on the ship? Would that work?
What?
Can we get a silence on the ship? Would that work? Quincy's peeing. I can't. Guess we gotta wait for our answer.
Isn't it a cube? Silence.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Radius, maybe?
I mean, just wait until it goes a certain distance and then we hit the gas. At a certain point, we actually want it to see us.
I'm saying we gotta hit the gas, or we lose it.
Yes.
For sure.
Hit the gas.
Yep.
All right. You do a quick 180. Throw it into gear. Take off. You're able to kind of spot it. It's just on the cusp of your vision. You can see it. It looks like it goes into a very, very low, a low hunt, like maybe 20 feet off the ground, just an insane speed. You see dust just like swirl up and start to part in a wake. That's really what you end up seeing more than the actual thing itself. You just see the dust just part as the wake. Finally, it looks like he reaches like the edge of one of the deeper, like narrow chasms, and you see him go straight up, tuck in, dive, and disappear into a narrow canyon.
See you later.
I think we should move to the lip of that cannon. Yeah, at least peer down it. Maybe we can,
Search for it.
yeah, ambush him on his way out.
Is that what you guys are doing?
I like it.
All right. You guys pull up to that lip of the canyon. How far from that are you?
Vertically? I think we'd want to peer down first, so maybe, I don't know, 50 feet above to begin.
50 feet above. Okay. You get about 50 feet above. You approach it kind of slowly, silently. You take a peer down, and it looks like this crack is maybe 10, 15 feet wide, but it just goes straight down into like inky blackness.
Jeez.
As you guys are near the crack, I think farther off, somewhere echoing, you hear more like explosions, like muffled echoes.
Are they similar to the ones he was doing before?
What?
Are they similar to the boom he was doing before?
Yeah.
Okay.
You echoing throughout the canyons. You hear it.
So
All
maybe
right.
this is
I'm gonna cast locate creature on the dude.
What?
I'm gonna cast locate creature on the dude. So whenever he's within 1,000 feet, I know exactly where he is.
Okay, you pinpoint him immediately. Boom! He's just kind of on the edge of your radar, maybe 700 feet, but he's far down. He's like deep in the canyon. This is the narrow cracks that you would have trouble getting the airship into.
All right, I'm just gonna.
He's moving. He's not moving very fast, but you see him. He's not flying. He's like climbing along the wall as fast as he can. He's climbing downward, and that's where you hear the.
I'm gonna point.
And then, what?
I'm gonna point out where he is. Just have Terrence skirt along the edge, kind of following the general direction where he is.
Okay. You skirt along. You hear a couple more explosions. Silence, and he stops moving.
Okay, everyone quiet. I think this is it. Is everybody ready to jump here?
I don't think we want to fight him in this chasm.
No, we gotta fight him when he gets out. Well, this is go time. We got look Frosty here.
We're still on the ship.
We're in the ship above the canyon.
And you're thinking
He's
there's
down
going to
there.
be an exit?
No, I just think he's got to climb out at some point. Let's just get ready to hit when he gets out of there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, do we want to offload, like, back on flat ground and then try to bring him back?
I think we gotta fight him here.
We gotta fight him here. He could just leave in an instant.
You want to fight him in the air?
No. I think we should get out of the ship here. Somewhere around here.
You want to fight him here?
Yeah.
We're not gonna get a better chance, I don't think.
Above the canyon, not down there in the muck.
Movement again, lightning quick.
Cool.
He doesn't move very far, but he moves very quickly. Maybe 100, 200 feet. It's like, yeah, he moves super quick, lightning fast. Almost straight downward. And then he like very, very tiny movements.
Guys, he's hunting. This could be our shot here.
I just don't want to end up in the mud down there.
Okay, well let's get out of the ship. Let's stash it. Let's get ready to strike here. Maybe
Right there.
can we disguise the ship?
If you want to get out of the ship, there's no problem. It's disguised.
You're thinking go by the opening where he originally entered?
I don't know what opening you guys are talking about. He's down in this canyon. We're up
Yeah,
above it.
It's all pretty narrow, but like the one that he disappeared into was like 15, 20 feet wide, but super, super deep.
Right.
But that's what kind of all this is. It looks like maybe a half a mile away, it opens back up into that like riverbed that's pretty deep. That's where all the muck is, but you haven't really seen anything of this like deep, narrow stuff. But I don't know. But he's somewhere like like whether there's caves, whether there's whether it opens up down there, or if it just stays narrow and he's just crawling through vent pipes. You don't know.
Okay, so this is not as difficult in terms of the terrain.
Up on top, it's dry. It's the same kind of cracked lands that goes into like the deep sheer cliffs.
So I say we fight him up here where it's dry.
The fissures. That's the word I'm looking for. It's like large fissures in the
Okay.
ground.
I see.
Narrow, deep cracks.
Alright, I'm picturing an enclosed cave.
No.
I think slow is gonna be huge, and earthbind.
I'll try to keep him on the ground. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Alright. Can someone do a survival check? Check what the ground is like down that crack?
Yeah, I'll
You're
do
gonna
that.
you have to get on the ground.
Well, we already know. We've been down there. It's swampy shit.
No.
That's the wider parts.
Okay.
This is the more narrow.
Sure.
I will climb down the ladder onto the ground.
Yeah, I'm getting off the ship too.
Okay. Who's doing survival?
I will.
I can do it too. I mean, we're looking at what is the dirt made of?
16.
The dirt. I mean, the dirt up here is. It's not that it's dry. It's just it soaks up the moisture super fast. So it just like it just falls through the dirt almost. Like, so the top layer is like peeling and gross. But as you kind of get down, you like, I imagine you run and then you just kind of slide on your belly to the very edge of the narrow crack and like look down, trying to be as fast and stealthy as possible. You smell wet earth down there. But as you kind of like tell from like the layering, you listen and feel some sort of like air movement. It seems like a narrow opening, but there might be like some sort of space underneath all of this, like tunnels, something.
All right. Are we going for it?
I think this is it.
We're just waiting until he comes up, right?
Once it comes up, it's too late. You need to go down and get it.
Enric is still up on the boat. Whoever's up there, he's like, he's very good. He's very fast, right? You have
Very
him in
fast.
a close space. Maybe that's his best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although explosions in a closed space does not sound like fun either.
How far
This is
down
played
is
off one of the other.
It's like hundreds of feet. It's like hundreds of feet down, right?
It seems pretty deep.
Okay.
like, how are we gonna get down?
Do you guys actually want to go down? We can do the feather fall thing. I got another potion.
Seems like it's
I do not know very many spells, but if somebody does need Featherfall, I am here.
seems
Although I am
like
not
that-
leaving the ship.
I do not want to go down there.
Yeah, I mean, you're the only one that can fly.
I think we gotta wait for him to come up. Maybe we make a diversion or something. This
Why
is
would we wait for it to come up?
why? Because why would we go down into a tiny area where there's gigantic explosions happening?
I'm just saying he's gonna get away if it comes up.
Movement again. This time slower. Moving back towards the area that this is the entrance. So he's moving back. He's like maybe 600 feet. Moving back slower.
Like into the tunnels or out towards the bigger area?
Out towards the bigger area, like the muckier area.
Okay. Guys, he's moving. He's leaving this little area. I'm just like sprinting in the direction.
Let's move.
He's all running. Y'all left the airship. Everybody give me some sort of like endurance check as you're sprinting.
Okay.
If you're trying to, it's very possible to move faster than this thing, but 'cause it seems to be moving slow for some reason.
Endurance, athletics.
Constitution?
Constitution, athletics. What are you thinking?
Let's do athletics.
Okay.
20.
16.
17.
Anybody get below a 10?
Yeah, Terrence did.
Ooh, that sucks. Terrence, you get a level of exhaustion. Running that full plate, you don't have a lot of experience running in it. You get winded real fast. But you do eventually reach. You feel the ping as it slowly. You maybe get like 75 feet in front as you stop and you see like this sheer cliff going down. It's a lot, not as deep as it opens up into like that riverbed area. It snakes through with all the different cracks that spider off from that. This is about 60, 70 feet down. Mucky, it looks like. But as you look down and you peer, you can see that there is a networks of tunnels that are kind of like built or carved into the sides of these canyons. Are you guys being stealthy?
Yeah, if we're getting that close.
So it's not as deep?
No. It's like that was really deep. Then it looks like the tunnel like came up and it's like 60 feet.
Oh, okay. That's doable.
This is our chance.
Yeah.
I need everybody to roll stealth checks. Terrence gets disadvantage. Quincy gets disadvantage.
I'm gonna do a pass without trace.
I rolled really well. For me. With pass without a trace, it's 24.
It's plus a 10 to your roll. I got a 30.
24.
Okay. You feel him. He's about 50 feet away. Not facing you. He's moving backwards for some reason. What are you guys doing? 60 feet. There's. It's not sheer. It kind of like levels off into like a gentle-ish slope towards the bottom. Pretty sheer right here, but the angle is bold at the very end. It looks like there's a couple of rocks. There's parts where there's lots of muck. Other parts looks like it's a little bit shallower. It looks like it kind of carves in a little bit. There's definitely ledges that you can stay up here, or you can get down in the muck. Who's all doing what, going where?
If his back's turned, I'm gonna start to creep down the incline.
Is that where he is, down the incline?
Huh?
That's where he is, down the incline?
There's like an incline, and then there's like a tunnel, incline, tunnel, and like back into the tunnel. That's where he is.
Oh,
He's
okay.
coming out.
I'm gonna be ready on the outside of the tunnel and ready to
Just like standing there.
just like, well, I mean, I'm ready to like jump on him, I guess.
Okay, so you're like beside the tunnel, ready to
Yeah.
jump out.
Yeah.
Cool. How about everybody else?
Same thing, sneaking up to the lip of it, trying to not be seen.
You guys are both next to the tunnel. Alan.
Yeah, I figured I would walk down the slope.
And I'm
Just be in the muck.
Yeah, to where the thing is backing out at.
Okay. So you guys are each on one side. I think Al Greaseface on one side. And the tunnel's kind of built into the side of the wall. Yeah, right here the muck isn't bad, but maybe like 20 or 30 feet out, the muck is pretty thick. Like maybe shin deep. Looks like it could go deeper. Terrence, where are you at?
I'm gonna ready an Earthbind spell at the entrance as well.
Okay. There's a sound, something like just creaking and like dragging and like earth on rock noises, scraping coming from the tunnel. Every once in a while you hear like as you guys kind of peeking over, you see the back of this obsidian dragon. He's pulling something huge out of the chasm.
we see his butt.
Uh-huh.
I think we got a gun right now.
Slash that butt.
He's not quite close enough yet. You can see him. He's coming out in the light. I think maybe he's like 40 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet. And you can see his powerful legs just like gripped. Now that you're really close to him, you see that there is like actual like dragon plate underneath that's like a dull red color. But then on top of that, he's built all of these like shards of like obsidian armor that are spiky, that is like grafted onto his scales. That's where he gets that sheen black. It's just like this spiky black shale rock. Like almost plate armor over like his sleek dragon red body.
Before we even start fighting, I'm gonna cast Beacon of Hope on all of us.
What's that? What's that?
It gives you advantage on Wisdom saves and Death saves, and you gain the maximum number of hit points from healing.
So it's plated or whatever. Are hammers good against that?
It's probably
You better make the decision right now.
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter in reality. Your magic, your weapon.
I'll keep it
is
as the
magic.
great sword at the original form.
That's fine. Who's gonna make the first strike?
I'm actually gonna change my prepared spell to slow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try and Earthbound. Earthbind.
Stone Earthbinder hitting off. Whereas Ellen, you're just gonna rush up and take its butt.
Swing.
It's got a big tail, right?
It's got a big sharp ass tail.
Yeah, I'll charge up and try and swing at the base of the tail.
Okay. Quincy's, you done Beacon of Hope. Doing something else?
Yeah, I was doing Beacon of Hope before, and then I'll try to just stab him as he.
I think I want to time the slow to strike like as they're swinging, so that like by the time it hits them, the spell has washed over.
Quincy and Alan both rush up really quick. You guys ready the spells. Just before you get up to it, you see it just stop and turn around like it's snake-like. It's like in a tunnel, but its snake-like head like whirls around in the tunnel, like against itself, looking back over its back. As soon as it sees you guys running towards it, you see the thing that it was dragging is like the size almost of the whole tunnel, one of those giant chasm beasts, just a big giant dead one, legs all sprawl. Immediately you see its jaws open, and you hear and feel the displacement.
Oh no.
Brace for the explosion, and that's where we'll end for tonight.
Woof.
Oh.
Dragon hunting. I just wanted to do Monster Hunter. That's all I wanted.
That's stressful, man. A lot of planning. I went as well as it could have.
Yeah. So you
Uh,
good situation.
Yeah, if you get Smash, Mike, let me know.
Oh, I'm probably getting it for Christmas, so that's what I asked
Hell
for.
yeah. I tried. The GameCube controllers are really cool with it, man. It feels really
Yeah, I was gonna get one of
good.
those.
Really?
Yeah.
A friend of mine bought a whole bunch for the Wii U Smash, and that still works, which is super cool. You don't have to buy
yeah.
anything new.
Nice. Cause it's the same adapter, right? It's just like
Anyway.
a USB adapter.
I'll see you guys. Thanks for playing my silly game.
Yeah, man.
man.
Thanks for being.
Thank
Have a
you.
good week.
You
Bye.
too.
See ya.
Yeah.
Right.